Right, and this is the last clip for this week. And the last concept that I want to talk about is technological determinism. As the name suggests, we are talking about how technology determines something. By definition, technological determinism means the personal and social consequences of any medium result from the new scale that is introduced into our affairs by new technology. So what does it mean? It means that now societies that we are in are shaped by the technology that people are using in the society. If we look back in time, for say probably 20, 40, probably 20, 25 years ago, the prime form of media that was influencing the society was television, radios, newspaper, magazine. And that technology, and we would call that technology as well, but it was the old form of technology. That technology would influence and shape the way the society is structured and shapes the cultures. Now, when we are in the internet era, that we have social medias, we have Facebook, we have uh, Instagram, Twitter, and emails and stuff like that. Those are the things that are shaping who we are as a society right now. And attached to the concept of technological determinism, there's also the concept of media ecology. And the media ecology is defined as the channel a media uses or the technology of a society shape all the rest of what happens within that society. If we look back to that, to the previous example that we discussed, we can probably see that the roles of the media in society is substantial. In the past, what we believe, what people believe in societies, how society is structured, and especially the culture of the society is shaped by what we hear in on televisions, what we see on TV, what we hear on radios, what we read in newspapers, what we read in magazine. However, now I think that sort of structure and culture is largely shaped by who you follow on Twitter, who you follow on Instagram, what kind of circle you are on Facebook, and what type of news you read on Facebook. How do they, what happens on your new feeds and stuff like that. Moreover, Mirovic discussed how electronic media return us to a similar state to when we live in oral tribal cultures with elements of simultaneous action and reaction, and the rise of sensory experience as a prime form of communicating. In other words, I think with technology 20, 25 years ago, it didn't really bring people close to each other. But with internet and or social networks or technology or smartphones and stuff like that, that sort of brings people back together. They're bringing people closer to be similar to uh, the time when the world was still very small. Countries and communities are still very small, and there was a lot of simultaneous action and reaction go, going on, and it's just like what we are experiencing with Facebook, with Instagram, with Twitter right now. That the actions and reactions are quite simultaneous. Right. So I think that's what I mean by technological determinism and media technology and media ecology. So in a nutshell, really, it so what I want you to understand this as whatever technology that you have in society actually shapes the how it is structured, how the culture is portrayed, and how the culture is practiced in the society. Also, the piece of technology would be very much different in different contexts, right? I think Thai people are very much into Instagram and Facebook, and some people even label Bangkok as the capital city of Facebook. But I mean, in Western culture, probably Twitter would have more impact on society than Facebook or Instagram. Last, I just want to reinforce two of the key terms that are important in understanding this unit. And this is combined with the unit, with the lesson from last week as well. So probably it might be a good idea for you to go back and review Lasswell model of communication, media dependency theory, the transmission view of media communication, the ritual view of media communication. You probably want to look at the words like public spheres, media frames, gender, dualism, duality, and technological determinism, as well as media ecology. Now it's time for the assignment for this week. So I have one discussion question for you, and which I will post it in the assignment. So the question is, popular music has played a central part in revolutions and protests around the world, but people in many nations where it is used question its effectiveness. So in a lot of countries, when people want to protest or want to show their opinions, they do it through popular music. However, people in those nations still question whether doing so through popular music would be an effective way. So what do you think the strengths and benefits are of trying to mobilize publics for action or change using popular music? And you can probably have a look at the example of song from Green Day, from Rage Against the Machine, from Nova Canyon. And there are a lot of songs that reflected what happens in societies and calling for action from people. Right, so yeah, I hope you enjoy the lectures, and don't forget to do the assignment, and I will see you again next week.